All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a video to help you find the regression line in your calculator and also that correlation coefficient that we talked about in class today. So the first thing you want to do when you have your calculator is clear it by hitting second plus 712. And then your next step, so let's see, maybe I'll write this down. So, oh, come on, marker. So step 1 would be to clear the calculator. And then step 2 is going to be turn the diagnostic on. So to turn the diagnostic on, we're going to go to second, catalog, and then if you scroll down to the diagnostic on, make sure you go to diagnostic on and not diagnostic off. There it is. You hit enter, and then you need to hit enter again so that it tells you that it's done. All right. Then after you've turned your diagnostic on, you need to enter your data. So to enter your data, get out your calculator, and you would go to stat, and you want to edit your list. And we're going to type in the X values up here into L1. So that's 1435, 865. Notice I have to hit enter after every value in order for me to get down to the next row. So that's 1510 and 4,145, 410, 1845, and 6,265. All right, so then I'd have to put my, gotta hit enter. Then I gotta put my Y values into L2. So 220, 160, 55, 550, 230, 570, 95, 275, and 790. And so I probably want to check right now before I go any further that I have the same number of values in my L1 as I do in my L2, which I do because these match up. If you get an error later that says mismatch, then that's what it's talking about, that you either have more X's or you have more Y's in your list, so that you just didn't type things in correctly. So after you have your data in your list, you then need to go ahead and calculate the regression line. So to do that, you would go to stat. You're going to hit the arrow over button to get the calc options. And we want linreg, which is the fourth option, the linear regression. And then we need to tell the calculator where the data is located at in the calculator. So that would have been L1. So I hit second. Oh, whoops. I'd hit second 1. That gives me L1. And then comma second 2, which gives me L2. If I hit enter, I get all this information. If you do this work and you don't have an R2 and an R, then that means you did not turn your diagnostic on. So that's a good troubleshooting tip right there. So if you get the Y equals A equals and B equals, but you don't have these bottom two, then you need to go back and turn on your diagnostic. So from here, I'm getting that my regression line is Y equals 0.12x. So that came from this A value of 0.119. So I rounded it to 0.12. And then the y-intercept, or B, will be what? 47.58. So plus 47.58. The correlation coefficient is R, and that's 0.99. So that tells me that this is a very strong positive correlation. And then since I have units, I'm going to go ahead and use them in my description. So strong positive correlation whereas the distance, you know what? I am actually going to take this out and type it. It'll be faster. So what this is telling me is that this is a strong correlation where the distance from Chicago, as the distance from Chicago increases, the flight time also increases. So that is my story. Now in your homework this evening, you don't have units, you just have a blank table. So you're not going to have to worry about this second part here. You're just going to say that it is a strong correlation. So you just would say strong correlation because you don't have units. If you're given units, you're going to need to put that. Again, here is the kind of range to help you with determining whether you have a strong or weak correlation. So I will end the video with you having that as your frame, so that if you need a few seconds to look at it or copy it down, you can pause your video and do so now. If you have any questions, please ask me in the morning or ask to come to Equal Hour tomorrow afternoon. Remember, this information will be covered on the quiz on Friday.